Where I'm from, people visit each other without any previous communication. The host then has to stop everything they are doing and receive them, especially if they are from the family. I believe it's disrespectful to visit someone without justification and/or a previous agreement. I know it's a culture of the country, but for me, it's like the visitor is saying, I know you have nothing better to do, so just drop it all and attend me, disregarding any work or chore I may be doing. I've made it clear to my family that I'm strict with this, and even if I'm just watching a movie, playing video games, or looking at my cat, if you didn't take the consideration of notifying me in advance, it doesn't matter if you are a few blocks away, coming from a different country or from Mars, if you didn't text or call me in preparation to your arrival, you will be left outside, doors shut. A few days ago, my mother told me a cousin of mine came from a very far away country, and he was going to my house in 2 days. I warned her that I wouldn't be able to receive them because I would be working. I work from home, plus, I didn't wish to dedicate any time to them, because my cousin didn't give me the dignity of knowing he was coming to the country beforehand. I didn't even know he had been around for like a week. I told my mother, do not come, I will not open the door, I'm really sorry but no. Long story short, they came to my door anyway. I saw my mother, father and cousin in the security camera and heard them calling me. I let them sit there under the sun for half an hour until they gave up and left. It's incredibly important for me that my word is respected. If I said don't come, my wishes need to be respected or you'll be left outside. I love my family and friends, but they need to respect me. This I show up first and tell you later culture is way beneath me. Am I the a-hole for enforcing this personal rule? Before this, some family members also came from abroad and surprised me with a call saying that they were on the beach and for me to go. I'm not 9 years old, plus, I didn't even know they were nearby. You can't just ask me to go to the beach a weekday in the afternoon. Please dignify me by planning in advance, it's not that hard. Of course, I declined the invitation and politely let them know why I won't just drop everything and go to the beach with them. Comment 1. NTA. Just because they respected your wishes and announced it beforehand, does not mean you have to receive them. You said no and they came anyway? How disrespectful of them. Good for you for sticking to your boundary. That must have been hard with them right outside your door. As for the beach thing, it sounds like you handled that fine. They invited you, you gracefully declined because you weren't available. And as for respecting others' culture, that goes both ways. You are a person worthy of respect too. Comment 2. You work from home, so it's exactly the same as them coming to your place of work for a visit, and expecting you to drop everything to host them. Would they consider that normal behavior? I don't like people dropping in unannounced either. My dad used to do it regularly, even though I told him, repeatedly, not to. There's nothing like being completely disrespected, just because someone else thinks their wants outweigh yours. Comment 3. Everybody who knows me, both friends and family alike, knows if they don't let me know they're coming beforehand, I will not answer the door, period, end of story. I also do not open my door to strangers for any reason. These days, it's a matter of safety and security. And yes, it is incredibly rude and shows bad manners to just show up at someone's house unannounced. Where were these folks brought up? Behind a barn? Learn some basic manners and etiquette, why don't you? Story 2. My parents divorced when I was 2 or younger. I, 17, lived with my mom until she died when I was 7, and then my dad decided to stop me going into foster care. He wasn't an involved dad before mom died, and he didn't become one after either, but he kept a roof over my head and food in my belly, so he did something, I guess. I got used to doing things for myself and spent most of my time bouncing around some friends' houses. I tried to never stay too long so they wouldn't grow tired of having me around, and it's worked. I'm 17 now and I have less than a year to go. When I was 15, my dad started dating someone and they got married right before my 16th birthday. They were married for a few months when my dad left her. She was pregnant at the time. He told her he wanted to divorce and that was it. She moved out but tried to win him back, and she tried to build some kind of relationship with me, and she said she wanted me to know her baby. I wasn't interested, so I ignored her. The baby was born and they did a DNA test and the baby's my dad's kid. The divorce was finalized a while after that. My dad has nothing to do with his ex's child and I never met the baby either. Dad has support taken from his paycheck, but that's all he has to do with that kid. His ex-wife kept trying to reach me via socials and text. I blocked her number and made my accounts private so she couldn't reach me, but the texts didn't stop even with blocking her. It's always some different or weird number. She told me Dad might not want to know, but I'm a big brother and her child deserves to have a good relationship with me. I don't want one. I'm not interested in meeting her child. Being related doesn't do anything for me. I ignored her for weeks before I snapped the other night after she said she was the mother to my sibling and I had a sibling and they cared about me and needed me, and I sent a text back saying I don't care about her or her kid and to leave me alone. I blocked that number then, but she did what she keeps doing. My next step is once I'm 18 get a new number and just move on. But ever since I sent that text she's been calling me names and saying only a monster wouldn't love their own flesh and blood sibling. Comment 1. NTA. So this grown woman is harassing a 17-year-old kid because she wants what? Free babysitting? An emotional crutch? An into you father? And she persists despite your making it eminently clear that you are not interested. It is now time for a cease and desist order. Go to your local police and ask about obtaining one. Good luck. She sounds unhinged. Ensure you fathers will leave everything, except child support, to you. Else, she is coming after everything she can if your dad passes away. Comment 2. NTA. You don't owe anyone a relationship, especially when they've shown no interest in building one with you. It's clear you've had a rough childhood, and your emotional boundaries should be respected. She's crossing those boundaries by repeatedly contacting you when you've made it clear you don't want anything to do with her or her child. You are not responsible for her actions or feelings. Comment 3. Exactly, NTA. You don't owe anyone a relationship, especially when they haven't put in the effort to build one with you. You've been through a lot, and your boundaries are totally valid. She's the one crossing them by constantly reaching out after you've already made it clear you want no part in it. You're not responsible for her feelings or actions. Story 3. So, for context, we're a household of 5. We have one child who's autistic and only eats a few specific foods, another one with allergies who has to avoid specific foods, and another one who will eat most stuff but hates meat. This alone makes it a bit tough to figure out meals. I do a pretty balanced diet, and try to figure out meals I can adjust to everyone's taste. However, my husband is on a low-carb/no sugars diet, yet also refuses to eat vegetables and says he doesn't even want to try a majority of dishes I suggest. I've been trying to figure out how to make meals for us all, but he's the hardest one to cook for by far since he won't eat a majority of vegetables, or hardly any starches, and hates stuff like stews and curries. Lately I've been helping set up stuff to cook for him but haven't been actually making his meals. It'll help a little, but I stopped cooking for him fully for the most part. Well, last night I had my hands full trying to make dinner for all of us and already had an extremely busy day. He came into the kitchen while I was making dinner and asked what I was making him because like usual he didn't like what I was making. I told him I've been busy enough today and if he doesn't like what I'm cooking to cook his own dinner. He ended up snapping at me that he always has to cook lately since I rarely do it anymore and any other man's wife would gladly cook for him and not make him fend for his own. I tried to explain that I would cook for him, but he never gives me any ideas of what he's actually willing to eat and turns down everything I offer, but he was having none of it. My family is on his side. They're saying I'm neglecting him and that men don't usually have to worry about their own dinner and I need to make sure he's fed good like me and the kids. So, comment 1. NTA. Meal planning and cooking was actually a major concern of mine when getting married. I'm a woman and figured it would fall on me, and for me, I will happily cook an enormous batch of one thing and eat it all week. Luckily, my husband loves to cook and he has made me more excited to do so. The men in his family all cook. Your family has some very rigid ideas of gender roles, and if you're already feeding 4 of 5 people in the family, he can feed 1 of 5. Comment 2. I'm assuming he also leaves the shopping to you. Leave the shopping list out for him and have him add foods he is willing to eat. If he wants you to prepare essentially a different meal for everyone in the house, he has to help with meal planning and tell you what he is willing to eat. Also, most men love to grill. It sounds like grilled meat is one of the things he will eat. Encourage him to grill a week's worth on a Sunday and heat it up throughout the week. In fact, weekly meal prep would take the pressure off of both of you. He is putting you in an untenable situation and doing nothing to partner with you for the solution. Your family's reaction is insane. NTA, Story 4, I, 37F, am a wedding photographer. I have been a photographer for 14 years. Over the years my sisters have used me for everything from family to newborn pics and never paid me or even offered. To me it's not the payment, it's the offer that means more to me, shows you appreciate me, to pay me. It's annoyed me and I've made little comments here and there over the years about not getting paid and just offering and still got nothing. It never fully bothered me because it was maybe 3 hours of my life including the session and editing, so not a huge deal, I'd just let it go. August of 2024 my nephew was getting married. Before he popped the question my sister, 45F, asked me if I'd do the wedding. I said yes and we agreed on a price of $2,000. Now let me say my pricing for what she wanted is $5,200, I'm not a cheap photographer, in my area I'm on the higher end. Anyways, we came to an agreement, settled payment dates etc. My nephew pops the question and she says yes. Fast forward to 1 month before the wedding. My sister pays me $1,000 and says she will pay me more ASAP. Now I know what you're thinking, but she has 3 jobs and paid for a huge portion of the wedding herself. But we had dates agreed on because I know she'd need more time to pay me off. It's not what I usually do, usually you have to pay off the balance 1 month before the wedding, but like I said she's doing it on her own and she's my sister, so I didn't think it would be an issue. I do the wedding and everything is amazing. 1 month later I tell my sister the pictures are done and her bill is due soon, and as soon as she pays the pics will be released, and she says I'll pay ASAP. Okay. Sure. 2 months, still nothing. 3 months I send her a few texts over this time reminding her and she still says the same thing. 4 months later I'm starting to feel really bad for my nephew and his new wife that they don't have their pics. I'm always a pushover with my family, but my husband, 39M, told me to not give her the pics until she paid in full, but it's killing me inside because my nephew and his wife are paying for his mom's duck up. At month 5 my other sister, 39F, calls me and tells me my sister is going around telling everyone I'm holding the pics hostage trying to get more money than we agreed on. I was only there for a few hours, he's her nephew, she should have done it for free, she's lucky she got anything from me since she didn't do much, and a whole slew of other things. I lost it. I texted her that I heard what she said and she didn't deny a thing, even went as far as to blame me for everything. My family started calling me asking why I was doing this, and I had to send screenshots of our whole condos and everything to show she's lying. 7 months later she just started to pay me the remainder she owed me. I know she was waiting for me to hand over the pics and wipe my hands clean and forget about the money, or tell her to pay me whenever she can like I've always done, being the pushover, but like I said my husband wouldn't let me because I did the job and should get paid for it. Come to find out she told my other sister why couldn't she just edit them and send them like usual so I don't have to pay anymore like she always does. So needless to say, comment 1. You are a professional wedding photographer. Your sister hired you knowing that. Then she decided to change the rules of the game and wanted you to work for free. That's just not on. She's a customer and that means that if a customer doesn't pay, she doesn't get the pictures. Simple as. Who needs someone in their lives who can't be trusted and who backstabs you the moment your back is turned? You did well. Comment 2. NTA, your sister got used to taking advantage of you. Good on your husband for telling you not to release the photos. I have an aunt who's a photographer and could never ask her to shoot anything without asking her rates and insisting on paying. So my boyfriend, 22M, invited me to this little game night with his friends. I, 20F, was excited to go. I've met them before but not for long, so I thought it'd be nice to actually hang out. Everything was fine at first, we were just chillin', playing some stupid drinking game. Then it got to this part where we had to compliment each other. His turn came and he had to say one thing he loved about me. And this man looks around, laughs and goes, "A man-eyed, she's cool I guess." Bro. I just stared at him. His friends laughed, someone was like, "Damn dude, that's cold," and I just kinda smiled, but inside I felt so awkward. So when my turn came up, I was petty. I just went, "Yeah, he's alright too I guess," and moved on. His friends laughed again, but he got super quiet after that. On the way home he got mad, said I made him look bad and I should have just let it go. I told him I wasn't gonna sit there looking dumb while he acted like I was just there. Now he's acting all distant and weird.